France is the most visited country in the world. I don't think I've met with anyone who has either not visited France or doesn't wish to. Hi there, bonjour. Welcome to isaykids. Like you, I am also very excited to talk about France today. Let's first get to know a few things about France, then we would talk about interesting places to visit there, and then a beautiful video gallery awaits you. The French Republic is a transcontinental country spanning Western Europe and overseas regions and territories in the Americas and the Atlantic, Pacific, and Indian Oceans. Due to its several coastal territories, France has the second largest exclusive economic zone in the world. Now, what is an EEZ? An exclusive economic zone or EEZ, as prescribed by the 1982 United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea, is an area of the sea in which a sovereign state has special rights regarding the exploration and use of marine resources, including energy production from water and wind. Do you know which one is the largest EEZ in the world? Let us know in the comment section below. France borders Belgium, Luxembourg, Germany, Switzerland, Monaco, Italy, Andorra, and Spain in Europe, as well as the Netherlands, Suriname, and Brazil in the Americas. The capital city is Paris. It is also the country's largest city and main cultural and commercial center. France retains its centuries-long status as a global center of art, science, and philosophy. It hosts the fifth largest number of UNESCO World Heritage Sites. The vast majority of France's territory and population is situated in Western Europe and is called Metropolitan France, to distinguish it from the country's various overseas polities. Metropolitan France includes various coastal islands, of which the largest is Corsica. Due to its shape, France is often referred to as ihexagone, that is, the hexagon. Okay, so let me ask you this. What comes to your mind when you think of France? Eiffel Tower? Urban cities? Well, you would be surprised to know that around a third of France is forest. If you knew this, give a pat on your back. France has several overseas regions across the world, out of which 5 have exactly the same status as the mainland France's regions and departments. France's total land area, with its overseas departments and territories, is 643,000 kilometers square. 0.45% of the total land area on Earth is France. This reminds me of another interesting fact. Do you know that French was the official language of which country for around 300 years? Take a guess. Well, French was the official language of England between 1066 and 1362. Surprised? If you already knew this, let us know in the comment section below. France possesses a wide variety of landscapes, from coastal plains in the north and west to mountain ranges of the Alps in the southeast, the massive Central in the south-central, and Pyrenees in the southwest. France has historically been one of the world's major agricultural centers and remains a global agricultural powerhouse. Nicknamed the granary of the old continent, the country's diverse climate, extensive arable land, modern farming technology, and EU subsidies has made it Europe's leading agricultural producer and exporter. With a footfall of around 90 million international tourists, France is definitely the most visited country in the world. Let's get to know some of the popular tourist destinations in France. Can you beat it? Around 6 million people visit Eiffel Tower every year. La Tour Eiffel is one of the world's most recognizable landmarks. Its height and unique silhouette floating above the Paris landscape quickly made the Eiffel Tower one of the most popular attractions in Paris. Do you know that there's a secret apartment at the top? And tucked into the first floor of the tower, next to the gift shops, there is a tiny post office. Eiffel Tower is not only a common city icon but also becomes a symbol of love for many couples from all over the world. It is because of thousands of marriage proposals made under beautiful tower every year. The Palace of Versailles is a former royal residence located in Versailles about 12 miles west of Paris, France. Around 8 million people visit the palace, park, or gardens of Versailles every year, making it one of the most popular tourist attractions in the world. People who are on the lookout for somewhere luxurious to learn some history never miss to visit this place. There is the Hall of Mirrors in the palace that has a total of 357 mirrors. The treaty that ended World War I, the Treaty of Versailles, was signed within the depths of the Hall of Mirrors. An interesting fact that you might want to know is that both Peace of Paris treaties were signed at Versailles. Museum National des Sciences Naturelles. The National Museum of Natural History attracts around 2 million visitors annually. The main museum is in Paris, on the left bank of the river Seine. The museum has 14 sites in France, with 4 in Paris. It includes the Jardin des Plantes, which is one of the 7 departments of the museum. It means the Garden of the Plants. Pont du Gard. A UNESCO World Heritage Site, it is one of the best preserved Roman sites in the world. 49 meters is the height of this Roman aqueduct built in the 1st century AD. Do you know what an aqueduct is? Well, it is an artificial channel for conveying water, typically in the form of a bridge across a valley or other gap. Pont du Gard carried water from Uzes to Nîmes. 50 kilometers of pipes crossed the heath or travelled underground. Today, it remains the only example of a 3-story antique bridge still standing, with 3 rows of arcades, one on top of the other. 6 arcs on the bottom, 11 in the middle, and 35 on the top. Arc de Triomphe. The monument was commissioned by Napoleon in 1806 after his victory at Austerlitz. It took 30 years to finish the Arc de Triomphe, and no wonder it's incredibly elaborate. Relief sculptures at the base of each of the 4 pillars show 4 victories and war scenes. The top of the arc has the names of major successes during the Revolutionary and Napoleonic periods. Less important victories can be found on the inside walls, plus the names of 558 generals. The underlined names are to show that the general died in the battle. The next one is Mont Saint-Michel. Mont Saint-Michel, the medieval city on a rock. Rising hundreds of feet above a rocky islet, amidst vast sandbanks exposed to powerful tides, stands a Gothic Benedictine abbey surrounded by a medieval village. Built between the 11th and 16th centuries, Monsant is a testament to the ingenuity of man inspired by God. It simply takes your breath away. Saint Chapel. The Saint Chapel is a famous church in Paris and the chapel of the Palais de la Cité, located on the Ile de la Cité, a river island in the River Seine in Paris, France. It's arguably one of the most beautiful religious structures in the world, mainly because of its unique stained glass windows. One of the most striking facts about the Saint Chapel is that every single inch of the interior walls and vault has been colored and decorated. What makes this even more remarkable is that the colors used during the extensive renovation of the 19th century were much less bright than its original colors, which would have made the interior look even more astounding. Château du Haut Kingsbourg, meaning royal castle in the German dialect. This pink sandstone structure dominates the plain of Alsace at 757 meters high. The heart of Alsace wine route winds at its feet, and this fortified castle provides its visitors with a panoramic view over the Alsace plain, the Black Forest of Germany, and on a fine day, the Swiss Alps. Puy-de-Dôme is a department in the center of France, named after the famous dormant volcano, the Puy de Dôme. The department is in the massive central and boasts more than 80 volcanic craters. The Musée Picasso is an art gallery in Paris. The museum collection includes more than 5,000 works of art and tens of thousands of archived pieces from Picasso's personal repository. The next is very beautiful, Carcassonne. The medieval walled city of Carcassonne sits in the luscious valley of Aude River. Slate roofs glint in the sun. Surrounded by mountains and vineyards, the scent of pine shrubs, spicy herbs, and sweet flowers is carried on the cool winds. Known as garrigue, it is the signature scent of the south of France. The walls of the city are 3 kilometers long and have 52 massive towers. A French poet wrote a poem about a man who dreamed of seeing Carcassonne before he died. His poem inspired many others and was translated into English several times. If you know who was this famous poet, let us know in the comment section below. The Louvre. The Louvre, most famous museum in the world, has won the award for most visited museum in the world for many consecutive years now, attracting close to 10 million visitors annually. The most famous as well as the biggest museum in the world is fittingly home to one of the most famous paintings in the world. Leonardo da Vinci's Mona Lisa is a permanent resident at the Louvre Museum. The Louvre's galleries span over 15 acres, which makes sense when you consider the fact that there is an estimated 380,000 pieces of art inside the Louvre Museum. But only 35,000 of them are actually out for public display. Next is Disneyland Paris. Disneyland Paris is Europe's most popular theme park. It is the kingdom of magic and the stuff of fairy tale dreams. Ever wondered how Mickey and his pals seem to be in two places at once? I am afraid this isn't a sprinkle of Tinkerbell dust, just some secret underground tunnels. With more than 10 million tourists a year, the French Riviera in southeast France is the second leading tourist destination in the country after the Paris region. It benefits from 300 days of sunshine per year, 115 kilometers of coastline and beaches, 18 golf courses, 14 ski resorts, and 3,000 restaurants. Now sit back and enjoy these famous beaches in France. The best beaches in France are on the Riviera and on the Normandy shore, and also on the Bay of Biscay. From historical hotspots and hidden islands to the playgrounds of Europe's elite, there are many good beaches in France. Let's see some of them. I'm the spectacular. Let's call it a day. Hope you had fun. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Life is short. Enjoy. Take chances. Work hard. Party harder. Take care. Bye bye. Au revoir.